Hey guys, this is Goku, and on this channel we talk about poker and ideas that can improve your life. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and click the subscribe button because I'll be honored to have you here. Today we're gonna jump into yet another GTO Trainer session. We're playing the spot CO versus Big Blind single raise pot on 100 BB stacks. We're playing on a Simple GTO Trainer, and we've played 50 hands of this spot. So we are just two more sessions from the summary, because on a Simple GTO Trainer right now we're only trying out this software and trying to decide if it's a good piece of software to try and explore more or not. But without further ado, let's just jump right into it and let's play 25 hands of this spot. So first hand we've got ace 8 of diamonds on a king 9-7 all hearts. The big blind leads to us, and I think this is a spot where we just fold. It is. Pocket sixes on a queen 6-8 with 2 hearts. This is a spot where we have to continue 100%. Jack on the turn, we're still continuing, and queen on the river. And do we go for a 3/4 pot bet or do we shove it? I think we shove it 15% of the time and bet 85 the rest. And actually, surprisingly, the solver is doing almost the opposite. So betting 3/4 12% of the time and shoving 88. Just surprising, but of course we call, and the villain shows queen jack, so well played. 5-4 of diamonds on an a6-4. We're of course continuing. Jack of hearts on the turn means we're gonna check, and we see the solver is doing 50% of checking and 51% of checking and 49% of betting. And on the 6 of hearts on the river, I don't think there's a lot of merit in betting. I think we're getting called, and we have some showdown equity, so we can just check it behind, and we actually win versus pocket threes. And we see the solver is not doing any betting at all here. Jack 10 of clubs. No, of spades on a queen jack 5 with 2 hearts. We're continuing here 55% of time and checking 45, but the villain folds. Ace 8 on a jack 10 and 9. And that's probably a flop. We're doing a decent amount of checking here, so we're not. We're actually doing 96% or 7% of betting and just checking 3% of the time. King of spades on the turn means we're gonna continue on with our checking. And again, the solver prefers betting here. And queen of hearts on the river, we're gonna bet now. And the solver agrees with this line as well. 10-9 off on a king queen 3. We check it from the big blind. 4 of diamonds on the turn. We're gonna check once again. And are we going to call this bet? Guess so. I mean, well, no, we should not call this bet. It's minus 3.77 EV loss. We just have a gut shot, so 8%. And can we really get a lot of value from him if we hit it? Probably not. Plus, it may bring the flush. So, yeah, it's just bad decision to call here. Even though, you know, we have some implied odds. And the pot is small, but yeah, we should just fold it here. Pocket sevens on the 9 do 7. We're gonna continue. Another deuce on the turn. We're gonna continue again. And the villain folds. Pocket fours on a king for 5, 2 hearts. We're gonna check. We see the solver is leading here 33% of the time. Jack of hearts on the turn. We're gonna bet now. We get called. 6 of spades on the river. And we're going to... We are going to bet 3/4. And the solver agrees with this line, and we even get called by king 7, so that's nice. Ace 10 off on a jack 8/7. We're checking from the big blind. 8 of hearts on the turn. I think we can take a stab at this pot, but the solver prefers checking. And there's a 9 on the river. And is that a card where we overbet the pot? I think it is. But not really. Not that often. We only do it 2% of time here. We should bet 3/4, 52%, and check 45%. So yeah, that's quite significant EV loss actually, minus 2.15. But yeah, also that overbet was twice the pot, so maybe that's it. I would just overbet it like 150% of the pot in a normal situation. I'm gonna check now with the ace 7 on 9/5/7, and I'm gonna do check call, or maybe even sometimes check raise. No, we should not check raise it here. It's better to just check call. That's what the solver is doing. It's not check raising our hand at all. So that's good to know. 10/7 of diamonds on a jack 8/3. We're gonna bet on the cutoff, of course. But the solver is doing 35% checking, just so you know. And there's another 3 on the turn. And do we continue betting here? I think we're gonna check. And we're gonna give up on the hand, but we see the solver is doing 31% of checking. Betting on the turn. Right, and we're just gonna fold now. Ace 8 off on a king 8 deuce. We're gonna bet. Solver agrees. On a jack of spades, we're gonna check. And on a 3 of hearts, are we going to bet here, or are we going to check behind? I think we're gonna bet at least a little bit, but we see the solver's not betting at all here. It's just checking behind 99.98% of the time. Oh, well, 9/6 of diamonds on an ace king 8. We're gonna check from the big blind, and we're gonna fold. And we see this last hand, actually this previous one was -1 BB of EV loss, so not that much, but still, yeah, quite a lot. And now we've got pocket 6s on a 7/6/5. We're gonna bet them. 9 of clubs on the turn. We're going to bet once again. I think we can. But we see the solver's checking here 35% or 34. There's another 7 on the turn on the river. And we are going to bet 3/4. And the solver's shoving here 58% and betting 3/4, 42%. I really don't like this shove here, and I'm not sure why the solver is using this sizing. But maybe it's what I should be using and what I should be thinking about. Maybe it's not a mistake that the solver's using that. Now we got king 10 on an ace 4/3. We're gonna bet. which the solver is only doing here 10% of the time, we're gonna fold versus the raise. Pocket tens on an ace, ace, ace board. Gonna bet here. We see solvers checking 98% of the time. And now we've got queen 10 on a 10-7 deuce. On the cutoff, we're gonna bet. We get called, so we're gonna continue on the turn. And we see on the turn, actually, the solver prefers checking here. Does that 88% of the time. And on the river, do we bet? Do we check? I think we're gonna just check. And we lose versus a better 10, unfortunately. 7-5 of diamonds on a jack 8-7. We're going to bet. And the solver's checking here 75%. King 10 of clubs. We're gonna check it on the big blind, and we're gonna fold to a bet. Jack 7 of spades on a queen 9 king. We're checking it from the big blind. We're checking once again on the ace. And on the 4 of hearts, we are giving up on the hand. Yep, but we see the solvers taking a stab on the turn 46% of the time. We see the EV is pretty similar, but good to know that the solvers sometimes picking this ace to bluff with our hand. King 9 of clubs on a 5-3 deuce. Big blind leads to us. We're just gonna fold. And we see the solvers is raising here 10% of the time and folding the remainder. Queen 10 off on a 10-5-4. Gonna check. And we're gonna raise. But we see the solver's just calling here. It's not raising at all. So that's good to know. Ace 7 of diamonds on an ace 4 deuce. We're gonna bet it on the cutoff, of course. And we see the solver actually prefers checking. 91%. On the 9 of hearts, we're gonna continue betting. And once again, the solver likes checking. And on the ace on the river, we are going to bet for the third time. Even though the solver likes checking behind here. Yeah, it makes sense. Makes perfect sense. I'm just playing on a little bit of an autopilot, I think. And making some really big mistakes. I mean, -5 BBs of EV loss, that's pretty terrible. King for king with 2 hearts. Big blind checks to us. We're gonna check our jack 10. 4 of spades on the turn. We're gonna check once again. And another king on the river. We're gonna take a stab now. And yeah, we split the pot. Ace 10 of clubs on a 9-5-7 with 2 hearts. We're gonna bet. And we see it's pretty much 50-50. Okay, we've played our 25 hands for the day. Get a pretty bad result this time, -14.45 BBs of EV loss. Especially this hand. If we take a look at this, we really played it badly. On the flop, we chose to bet, which is fine, 8.63% of the time, but we see the solver checking here 91%. On the turn, we again decided to bet, which is still fine, but a rare play, 7% of the strategy versus 93% check. And on the river, for the third time, we decided to bet, continue with our story, and we see the solvers only doing that 0.52% of the time. We should just check behind 100% of the time, right? And unfortunately here the loss of EV is big. It's minus 4.88, so that hurts a little bit. And we also made a bigger mistake here, minus 3.77, by calling. Yeah, on the turn, I remember this spot. Here we just had a gut shot, and the board is pretty scary already. We have some implied odds if we hit our straight, but are they really that big? They're definitely not. So yeah, it's just it should be a simple fold, no brainer pretty much. And we chose to call here, so that was bad. And I think this went minus 2.15, and that's it. And here we just on the river, well, actually all throughout the hand, maybe not all throughout, but on the turn, we also decided to pick a very rare line. We should be checking here always on the river with our hand. And we chose to take a stab at the bottom bet. And on the river, we chose to bet twice the pot. And we should just bet 3/4 or check 45% of the time. So cool, that's it. You see minus 57.78, so not that great of a result. And if we take a look at the graph, unfortunately, our overall score has gotten worse, I'm sure. Yeah, we're at minus 34.59 after 75 hands. So if you can have a great last session, then maybe the overall EV loss will stay at something like minus 35 BBs of EV loss. But let's see if we can make that happen. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you being here. If you have any questions, feel free to post them below. If you stay this long, also just leave a comment, write GTO. It will be fun for me to see how many of you have gotten till the end. And I will see you in the next one. Bye. Do you want to learn how to play PLO? Are you a beginner player who's never played Omaha before? Do you want to learn how to crush casual players easily? If so, this course is perfect for you. It's a crash course on Pot Limit Omaha dedicated for beginner players. You will learn all the fundamentals of PLO. You will learn what hands to play, when to play them, and how to play them. You will learn the basic strategies that allow you to be a winning player at your home games or microstakes online. If you want to learn PLO quickly and easily, get this course now at gokupoker.com.